How's it going? Uh, so before we start diving into the unboxing and review for today's figure, I did want to point out, we've been a bit busy. I know we're still waiting on Natasha to do her unboxing and reviews, but for some of us, we have to work up to it, and she's doing just that. Trust me when I say she's got some really dope figures for you all to check out. However, today, this guy, or this person rather, can't say that it's a guy if it's not a guy. Now, one thing that I do want to point out, and I tucked it because I just didn't want you all to get a glimpse of it first before I showed it. I also scribbled out my information there so you don't have to worry. Now, this box, it just seemed to be getting worse and worse. And at the time that I purchased the Incinerator Trooper, there wasn't a double boxing feature. Now, I do have a second one coming in, and it is double boxed. And my fiance and I were thinking about making a toy store. We're in the baby stages of it, but stay tuned. We are thinking about selling things like Black Series and Hot Toys and things of that nature. So we're in the baby stages of it. If you'd like to know more, let us know in the comment section. Now, I was a bit upset at first. I was in the middle of working and I threw this in the Facebook group because, again, it's upsetting when you see something like this. I don't think we should be paying extra for shipping for something so expensive for it to be double packed. I'd like to know your thoughts. If you're totally fine with paying extra, if you feel like it should just be like, if you're paying for this, it should be customary. Like, it should be double boxed. In my opinion, it should be double boxed. But hey, it's here. I can't really do anything about it. I contacted Sideshow support. We'll see what they can do. My thing is, obviously, yes, I would like my shipper to look better than this, but my thing is especially the box, and it kind of looked like it's chewed through a bit, so we'll see. Other than that, though, the tape is still on the top portion of it. The bottom looks fine, as you can see there. So shout out to the commenter on Facebook who said I got the special edition, the battle damaged box edition. So let's just dive into it. Might as well rip this off, right? It's not gonna do any different. All right. So far, it looks like there's a nasty ding in the side of it there. Before we take the plastic off, I'll let you all see it up close in a moment. So it looks good. It's packaged pretty nicely. It doesn't look like it's been broken. The seal is pretty tight. Let's go ahead and get this off. Yeah, the rest of the box looked totally fine, but that top part is a bit jagged, and it's just the edge there that looks pretty nasty. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but other than that, the box looks pretty good apart from the corner. We got a couple scuffs on the side there. Nothing much going on in that area. We got like this weird ripple effect on the side. It looks like it took maybe a hard fall there. I don't know. I like my boxes to be relatively clean. I don't know. Are you the same way? Let's see if I'm the only one here. Now, the box looks like the other boxes that we've seen here on the channel so far. We've got the cigar wrap. This is the Mandalorian cigar wrap, by the way. It has a certain look to it, similar to Attack of the Clones. You've got that brown, sexy, sandy look to it. We've got the Incinerator Trooper there. Star Wars TMS 012. TMS meaning Television Master Series. For those of you who don't know, Masterpiece Series, sorry. Television Masterpiece Series. For those of you who don't know, we also have the Incinerator Trooper there on the side. Look at that. I switched my lighting around, so it's kind of difficult to get it properly. The engraved Star Wars logo that we have there on the front, which looks awesome. Nothing on the side, but we have everything that we need right here. So let's go ahead and dive into that unboxing. Alrighty, so here we go. We've got the Incinerator Trooper in all its glory. Let's go ahead and crack this open again. So you can see that cigar wrap, beautiful as always. I really love the orange effect on the casing there too, on the front of the Incinerator Trooper. Now, another small story before we really start deep diving into this. I originally was thinking about picking this up, and my fiance and her cousin, they talked me into it. Said, you know, why not? You got the Death Troopers coming, you got OG Mando, why not? So I was talked into it. Here's looking at you both. All right, so the photography card here, as always, looks super awesome. I really like the gradient from the bottom up. You know, the focus is the trooper here, right? So it's trying to draw your attention up here. I love the effects. Looks really, really good. They didn't overdo it. They didn't like Photoshop fire per se. Looked like they maybe bumped it up a little bit, but overall, I really love the card. Looks really, really nice. And there, oh, now that is awesome. I don't have an actual Stormtrooper apart from the Death Troopers. So this is my first Stormtrooper, if you will, although the Death Troop... Anyway, this looks cool. It's kind of hard because I'm also like looking this way. I'm down here. You all are looking at it this way. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of the accessories here. My fiance's going to yell at me. I'm using a kitchen knife, but I couldn't find my other one. There we go. So we have that off. Let's take out the clamshell. So we don't have anything in the bottom, as always. That's not new. All right. So these look like the hands here. We'll get into this in the accessory portion. Look like we have a couple more accessories as well on the inside. That off to the side. Whoa. Here, let's just grab the figure first. Look at that. Oh. I like the ruggedness of the figure. Can that come? No, it's not like the Death Trooper. Wow, look at this. I think I would have wanted the red to be a little bit more burgundy-like versus red, but in the paint, these are painted scuffs, by the way. This isn't like, you know, actual scuffs. It looked like they kind of like took something white and just scuffed it with that versus paint. But I do love the dirty applications here. It's kind of hard to see with the lights on it, but it's actually not as white as it's appearing on camera. It is white, but it's got like this kind of dinge to it. Very difficult to see here, but it feels good. It feels nice in my hands. I like that. So let's go ahead and take the accessories out and let's get into that. Alrighty, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab the first thing that I see here, which is the flamethrower. Now, I do love the front of it. It's got this like cool sandy look to it. But the rest of the gun, I kind of wish it had a bit more weathering going on, but it doesn't. You do have a movable piece here with the stock, as you can see. That's movable. I assume that this piece was movable too, since there's like this groove in it, but it's not. The front portion of it looks great. I love the nozzles as well, as you can see there. I think I just would have wanted a bit more weathering, but we're just going to assume that it's brand new and it was his first rodeo. taking it out there and charbroiling some noobs. So since we went ahead and discussed the flamethrower, we do want to check out that flame effect, right? Now I love the gasoline look, that like gradient to the fire. I'm going to assume that the gas is coming from the bottom and that it's lit here. So that looks great. It looks realistic. There isn't a light up feature though. So for those of you who would like for it to light up, it actually doesn't. But it does look good, right? Looks pretty nice. I think it does. We also have that super cool backpack that goes on it. I don't think these are movable. No, those aren't movable. This is pretty good. Now you've got some weathering on it. It almost looked like dust. It's kind of hard to tell here, but again, when we get to the detail section, you'll definitely see. Now you have the Imperial logo on it. You have it kind of looks like wet sand, if you will, the splatter effect on it. You've got some wear and tear down here on the brace. It's kind of hard to pick up here in the camera. You've got the straps, which I love the straps on it. This looks great. I love that. There's no wear and tear on the back portion though. I love the nozzles. Those do not move. And then in this part, you have the hose. I have not put this together yet though, so I'm just guessing since there was an entry point for it, that's where this goes. And this probably goes, I'm gonna say somewhere else on maybe the back, I guess. Oh, maybe, you know what? So this goes in the gun, or this goes in the back, right? And maybe this goes in the gun somewhere. So I'm thinking like here. So it probably goes there. Let's just check it out. Yep. So there you go. You've already have the starting point of the hose here, and this is going to go into the top portion of the backpack. So pretty cool. And as always, the instructions. I don't know if you all read them. I think for figures like Iron Man, I do feel like it's important to read these, but for someone like the Incinerator Trooper, probably not gonna do it. Let me know, do you read your instructions all the time? You just kind of let it fly by, or do you like to wing it? Are you on the edge? Let us know. As for the doodads, the tiny parts of the figure, I'm guessing these jewels here might have to deal with like the smaller things on the pauldron. It's interesting that they're jewel-like and not black. I don't know if this was an oversight or not, and I don't see any jewel-like portions on the pauldron. I have to look into it a little bit further and let you all know. We also have pegs. So for those of you who, break them off, or maybe that little tiny portion gets stuck in the hands, this is for you. Now let's go ahead and start deep diving into the hands. I went ahead and took off the hands of the Incinerator Trooper, so these actually come on it. Customary. One side is a little bit more rugged, the other side is shiny. I don't know if you can tell. So these are the relaxed hands. Next up, you have that cool looking fist. And you also have the trigger hand. You also have more of like a commanding hand there, if you will. Kind of like a halt, stop, where do you think you're going? You have another fist hand. So you have a left and right. If you don't want them posed with the flamethrower, I suppose. And you also have another trigger hand for the opposite hand. Maybe you want your Incinerator Trooper to be left-handed opposed to right and vice versa. And last but certainly not least, bam, the Crotch Cradler 9000. I think this is good for the Incinerator Trooper. I don't see a reason for the waist grabber. So this is pretty good. Let me know what you all think. Would you prefer the waist? Would you want them flying or something? Let me know. Now, this one I have a bit of an issue with. Uh, the base, I love the base. Don't get me wrong. This is probably one of the cooler base designs in my opinion. I absolutely love this base. However, and you already know what I'm going to say. This, I don't understand with the Incinerator Trooper, right? It says Incinerator Trooper there. I'm guessing they're just saying, you know, they jumped off of the ship, you know, that's what it looked like when they were coming off of the ship or wherever they were coming off of, whatever they were coming off of. But we saw the Incinerator Trooper predominantly on sand. So it's interesting that we didn't get that sand base, especially considering it's from the Mandalorian. For me, this is the first time I've ever seen the Incinerator Trooper. So I don't know. Let me know. Is the Incinerator Trooper somewhere else and I've just not paid attention to them? Either way, I'm not upset about this base. Cool base. Now, for some reason, I do feel like the pauldron is an accessory. I don't know. It kind of feels like it. So you've got this this bungee-like, this elastic kind of thing going on there, and it looks like it can snap into place. I don't want to unsnap it, but now again, as you can see earlier, I said that there are black dots. You can kind of see it there. I don't get the crystal-like dots. Black. And then again, you have the 2 black dots. I don't get where that silver one is coming in from. I don't see it anywhere else. But regardless, if you mess it up, I feel like that's what it's for. Alrighty, and here we have the Stormtrooper. I forgot to take off the plastic, but I'm a little excited to start posing it. So figured I will wait and just kind of go through the overview with you all super quick. Now again, due to the exposure of the camera and the lighting, it's actually not this bright and clean, if you will. There's actually quite a bit of, I guess you can definitely call it weathering down here on the feet, which you can't really see. You've got it going on up here, and I love the attention to detail in that. Overall, the figure feels great. I love the polyester-like blend going on there. The armor there, you can twist and turn it to where you're not damaging it. That looks good. I love the pauldron. I've never owned a figure with a pauldron before, so that's super cool. There isn't any like dirt and grime buildup in the corners like there is with the Death Troopers. You have this soft squeegee-like thing going on down here at the waistline. That way, you know, you're not scuffing it up. But honestly, I think the more scuffs and things like that, the better the figure looks. But I totally understand why they would put it there. Overall, though, this is a really awesome looking figure. I'm pretty glad that I was talked into it, honestly. So thank you for talking me into it. Alrighty, and we have that helmet sculpt. You can definitely see the scuffs and the grime in that now, can't you? Look at that. Awesome stuff, right? That looks incredible. Now, keep in mind, this portion does not come up like the Death Trooper helmet. So there is no light up function. Look at that. Look at the scuffs down there. I really wish that the scuffs that you see on the red line were like, I guess, similar to like a tie-dye shirt where it's like, you know, we scuffed it up, but yours might look different from someone else's. But I understand that that's like extra labor and stuff that they don't have to do. But that's definitely white paint, if you will. But either way, we're here to talk about the helmet sculpt, which again looks really good. I think I would have wanted a bit more, I guess, sand in like some of the grooves there, a little bit more down in there as well. But overall, I think it looks great. I had a ton of fun posing this figure. I think I found the pose that I want him to be in though. Um, Again, like I'm really glad that I was talked into purchasing this figure because it wasn't on my radar. It kind of was, it kind of wasn't, but let's just dive into a couple of things before I give you my initial thoughts. I had to do it. I had to open it up. So before you start diving into trying to get the backpack on, you're gonna have to pop off the helmet, then take off the pauldron. Now there's a side on there. It looks like a clamp that you're going to assume as a button that you can clamp. It does not. Do not ruin your pauldron. So once you take that off, you take it off of the neck and the bungee cord like thing that's underneath the arm, the stretchy band. That's where you pull that off. Then you put the backpack on. Now another thing, I didn't like the way that the cord was kind of all over the place, haphazard like. I think the first thing I did was plug it here, then plug it there, and you just had this cord around there, and it looked awful. So what I did to give it that more, I guess, a minimal approach. So what I did was, it was difficult trying to take out the bigger hose there. So what I did was, I took it around underneath the backpack, between the backpack and the back, and then underneath the arm, and then I put it on the flamethrower. So that's how I did mine. I guess you can let me know how you did yours, and it looks a heck of a lot better. Second thing, again, I wish there were a bit more, I guess, like how can I put it? Like, I like the sand effect that is here on the Trooper, but I don't feel like it matches. It doesn't match the Death Trooper, in my opinion. Now, when you look at the feet, yes, the feet looks like it, but there are other areas where the sand buildup should be in like the grooves of the helmet a bit more, and maybe a little bit on the eyes. It's not like the Death Trooper by any means, but there are some parts that are. Overall, again, I love the base. I know it does not match the Incinerator Trooper and where we met the Incinerator Trooper. I'm going to say for the first time, because I don't recall ever seeing the Incinerator Trooper anywhere else. I'm a big fan of the base, but for those of you who have an issue with the base, I feel like this might be a make or break for a lot of you. Just keep that in mind. Outside of everything else that I mentioned, I do feel like the flamethrower could have had a little bit more weathering on it. There wasn't much to point out here. Maybe it was the first time the Incinerator Trooper used the flamethrower, so there's no bluing effect on the metal, which this is plastic, mind you. I don't want to make it sound like it's die cast because it's not. Apart from that, though, the figure is incredible. I'm glad that Natasha and her cousin talked me into this one. This one's going to go in front of my Death Troopers for sure. Speaking of, if that's something that you all want to see, if you want to see my collection, I purchased a couple cabinets, a couple Bestas. It's coming along beautifully, but I need some lighting. So I'm looking into a place called the Luke Lighting, something to that effect. They mentioned having a shipment coming in next week, so here's hoping for that. So if you want to see that, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to be working on another video coming up soon. Darth Maul, who's behind us. So heads up, it's going to be Darth Maul, solo Maul, for those of you who are interested. So with that being said, I hope this video helped you all a bit in thinking about picking up the Incinerator Trooper from the secondary market. You can still join the waitlist right now on Sideshow, but I don't really know if this one's coming back. The Incinerator Trooper's been up for quite a while. But if you feel bad that you missed out and you want to check him out now, you can probably find him for about $270. Anything over $280, I would say don't touch it. But it is a great trooper, though. Don't get me wrong. So If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the sub button. And thank you all so much for watching. Oh, don't forget social media, Twitter, Instagram. That can be found in the description below. Take care. Catch you on the flippity flop.